The acting speaker wants to say a few words first. Then I'll recognize you.
Thank you, Mr. President Cabrera. Before you make the final motion to close this meeting tonight, I would like to just say something that will set the record straight. In terms, I cannot speak for the governor for why he is not with us tonight, but I do take exception to the statement that the governor does not care for the retirees. Because I do work with him, and I'm sure the president would remember that he had called meetings. Even this last meeting that was called this Monday was called not to talk about something else, but to talk about the retirement, how to save our retirement program. So if you did not care for the retirees, I don't think that you would be calling meetings. And let me add to that. Mr. President, with all due respect, we are speaking of passing legislations that would help us help the retirement fund. When I started my presentation, I did just that. I mentioned about the casino. And we are talking in that bill, we mentioned about the unfunded liability of the unfunded liability, which now stands at $350 million, that will be taken care of. And it was specifically mentioned in that bill, I'm sorry, that it will help us take care of that unfunded liability, so that, not just that, it will help, not unfunded liability, the debt of the government, the liability that has accumulated to $350 million as a result of non-payment every year by the employer, the government, over to the retirement fund. That casino has that language in there, and it was meant to be there to take care of our retirement fund. Besides, in addition to, and I'm reiterating, that it will help generate revenues, gross receipts, revenues that are going to take care of us, all of us. So in terms of that bill, Mr. President, yes, I agree with you that we have sent over a bill that would take care our active members of the retirement program. But we have, previous to that, way ahead of that, we sent up a bill to the Senate. Our friends in the Senate, and Mr. President, I do know that there may be problems, but I would like to beg today that we act on that, because we don't have to wait for the election. If that bill passes the Senate now, it would go straight to the governor, because that was one of the items, the points of discussion that we had late last year, when the committee that was called by the governor for all the legislators to meet with him, that was an item, top item on the agenda. In fact, we were even setting deadlines and timeline to act on that. So, talking about working together, I really think that we need to push for that. And so I needed to clarify that the governor is in fact for the retirees, all of us. And the last thing is, because we don't have time today, I would like to see that we submit, Mr. President, in the form of a memo or whatever, communication to both houses of the legislature, stating your reasons as to why you want us to oppose the executive order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.